Welcome to Evansville Podcast. My name is Jason Burton. Today is an episode that's shorter than the normal ones, but we wanted to get this out to let you know about the upcoming Silence the Musical. It's happening starting October 27th, which is this Thursday, and lasts through Saturday. 4 shows in total. So if you were interested after hearing about it on the episode, make sure you either reserve your tickets through Kensington. She'll tell you how to do that, or you can go to the Facebook page and find out more information there. So I will link to all that in the show notes. Go to evansvillepodcast.com and look for Silence, and you should find this episode. So let's just get into it. Enjoy. Well, thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for having us.
Mm-hmm.
So last we talked was the Toxic Avenger musical.
Yeah.
Which was amazing.
Thank you, sir.
Exceeded expectations.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you.
And I even saw some of the rehearsal, and I was like, "This is going to be so good."
Right? Yeah. That was a really stacked cast.
Yeah. So, Kensington, do you prefer Blalock Eck or just Eck? I didn't ask you last time, and I didn't know.
That's okay. I keep the Blalock in there because I'm registered with the Actors Union with that name, so that way people know what they're looking at.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
That's how I roll.
Yeah.
It's not my legal last name. It's part of my middle name now.
Oh, okay.
The more you know.
There you go.
Be here all morning, guys.
And that is another person in here.
Yeah.
Hi.
And who are you?
The Phantom Geekler.
You brought your own audience.
Right.
Wherever we go now.
I'm the laugh track.
Okay.
I'm Sidney Shripka. I'm one of the cast members for Silence the Musical.
Yep.
Cool.
She's cool.
Good deal.
I like her.
Speaking of Silence the Musical, that's why you're here.
Yeah.
This is very soon. It's kind of an emergency podcast.
It's emergency, man.
Because it starts Thursday, right?
Thursday, yeah.
Okay.
Like 48 hours. Less than that, like 36 hours.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, what?
So-
Math is not my thing, but it's soon.
That's fine.
Right.
Yeah, so Thursday the 27th
Yep.
runs through
Saturday.
Okay.
There's 4 shows, though.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So 2 shows on Saturday, I'm assuming. Then.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's 8 Thursday, 7:30 on Friday and Saturday, and then midnight on Saturday as well.
Okay. Yeah. And Silence, I know the answer, but Silence, it comes from what now?
Okay, so when I was fairly young, like preteen-ish, I found the Silence of the Lambs book, and I loved it. And I saw the movie, and I loved it. Got a super weird crush on Anthony Hopkins. Like, it's probably too deep to go into without having a counselor present. That's like its own podcast.
I'll make a note.
I was going to say, we'll talk about that maybe later. Yeah. But it's such an incredible movie. And my husband told me a few years ago, he said, this is a musical. There's like an unauthorized parody musical of the movie. And I said, well, I want to hear it. And he played it, and 2 tracks in, I think, I told him to turn it off because I was so deeply offended by the material. It's so offensive. And then I thought about it, and I said, okay, turn it back on. I want to hear it again. And while it is definitely offensive, I mean, the material is offensive. They make a lot of jokes that are super insensitive. It's hysterical. It's as close as you're going to get to seeing a bunch of adults playing on a playground while they're drunk. I mean, that's the best way I know. I mean, if you like Rocky Horror, this is Rocky's older cousin who just got out on parole.
Okay. Wow.
Right?
That's fair. Is that okay?
I mean, yeah, you got it, because she just did Rocky, so she knows best of both worlds.
All the camp.
Right. It is. It's so campy. It's so tongue-in-cheek, and it's very obscene.
Man. Yeah. So that's got to be a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it is.
Because we're in a fairly conservative Midwestern town.
We are,
so,
yeah.
But pockets of, I'm sure, we have our outliers.
We do. We have pockets of weird here, and I feel like Evansville deserves to have this kind of material present. It's definitely not for everyone, but that's what our running theme with our musicals are. We're offering different things. It's not commercial. Mm-hmm. There are people who want to see this stuff, and it's funny. I was talking about it with our music director out in public the other day, and 2 people were near us and heard us and stopped in their tracks and said, "Wait, what are you talking about?"
Right.
And then got tickets on the spot. People want it.
Yeah.
Some people want it.
Some people.
Not
and
everybody.
You want those people to be at the
I
event,
do.
so.
And we're anticipating walkouts for 2 specific sections of the show that are just over the top. But I mean, that's fine. I would rather people, if they're a little bit on the fence, come see it. I mean, it's a $15 mistake if you don't like it.
Yeah.
And honestly, then you're making an educated decision. If you don't want to see things like that, it's better to see it and try it. Just try it on for size. Yeah.
And so how are you involved, Sidney, then?
I am in the show. I play Ardelia and a slew of other characters. Don't get a whole lot of breathing room in this show. I feel like it's constantly running.
All right, so similar to the one that I saw, because I missed
Yes.
Hard Body, which is the one that's I haven't missed any other, right?
No, just Hard Body, yeah. Black Dude and White Dude in Toxic Avenger were constantly changing.
You're not being
yeah, I'm not being, no.
That was the
that was the actual names of the characters, right? I'm not actually being insensitive there. That they constantly changed costume, constantly did our transitions, and then the lambs, our chorus for the show is the lambs. She is Ardelia, and then a lamb, and then really anything else we need her to be, as well as Jared, who is Black Dude from Toxic Avenger.
Amazing.
Right? He's so great.
So amazing.
And then two other people, they play our lamb ensemble. And I mean, I watched them backstage. Yesterday was my first time being backstage with them, and there is zero downtime. Everyone, the second they come off stage, it is so impressive to watch them fast track it around to change and get back on there. It's really cool. She's killing it.
Have you done anything like that before?
I mean, I've been in shows where I'm rather like busy and I don't have like a whole lot of downtime, but I don't think I've ever been in one that involved so many quick changes and so many changes of character, because it's like any other show you have a quick change, it's because your character, like, it's a different day. I've never had to go from like character to character to character to character and just like flip a switch and go with it. But it's fun. You just kind of have to get to a point where you're like, you know what, I'm gonna look like a goofball when I go out here, because I was literally just like eaten by Hannibal Lecter, but now I'm a different character. So,
Right.
But I think it plays into that kind of fun, chaotic, would you say drunk adults on a playground type deal.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, that's really what it feels like. And whenever we overthink it, whenever we're rehearsing and people are thinking really, really hard, it's not funny. But when people get out there and they're ready, this show, I mean, it lends itself to improv. There are specific moments that say ad-lib, improv, go. And whenever people are really on, it's scary. I mean, we've had to actually stop the show because we were all laughing so hard a couple times because it was just so much.
Wow.
Yeah, right?
Oh, man.
I know.
Yeah.
Stunned silence.
Your shows make me nervous.
Yeah, that's honestly our goal.
Right?
Right, yeah. Yeah, we want to make you nervous.
Right. So how long is the season going to be?
So we have 5 shows in our whole season. Okay. This is our 3rd, so we're right in our middle ground. We're going to do some Christmas caroling over the next couple months and try to have some downtime with our families because our rehearsal schedules are intense, but like crazy. And then in February, we're doing falsettos. We're doing that over the Valentine's weekend, which is a really beautiful show, just remounted on Broadway. It's a really... the material is not at all like Toxic Avenger or Silence. There's a lot of substance. And then at the very end of April, we're doing Titanic Ensemble, which is one of the most beautiful musical theater pieces. And it's obviously based on the Titanic.
Not a comedy.
Not a comedy.
Not like the movie was.
Well, I mean, there's no Jack and Rose. I don't want to give away the ending if you aren't familiar with the story of the Titanic. Oh God. We just lost half our audience. Thanks.
I'm pretty sure that is not a spoiler.
I hope not. Not at this point.
Abraham Lincoln was assassinated too.
Oh God, what?
I know, right?
Oh,
I'm
on the
alert.
Titanic.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like I did not pay enough attention in school.
No, definitely
I watch
not.
a lot of junk history, so I know a lot of things.
Oh wow, you're my go-to.
Yeah, should totally watch that.
I'm going to.
Before I get you out of here, because I know you got places to be.
Yeah, we're good, man.
What's the theater culture in Evansville? How's it going? I mean, what do we got going on?
There's a lot of stuff to go do here in Evansville. And really what Think Pink wants to do is give you something that's totally different, because there are a lot of places like Sidney was just involved with the Rocky Horror Show. And that's a cult classic. That's something that people are familiar with. And because they're familiar with it, it's got its own special draw. Silence is its own campy, weird thing. And so much of what we're bringing in is its own campy, weird thing. But in terms of the theater culture here, people want options. They want to go to stuff. They want to be excited. We just want to Think Pink wants to give people options that you maybe have never heard of before. And we would love for people to step outside of the material that you're familiar with and then come learn new things. I never would have done that if I hadn't married my husband, because he knows like everything about material. It's so weird how much he knows. He was white dude.
Yeah.
And he was
great too.
Yeah, right?
Oh my gosh, so
like
good.
he shaved his head for the show.
Wow.
Right?
That's dedication.
Yeah, he's scary bald, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I live with him and sometimes I'm like, oh man, like I feel like
How
he
long's
might
this
kill me or eat
going
me
here?
or something. Gonna be some intense Christmas pictures this year.
Method acting.
Right? I know.
Oh,
It's
goodness.
intense. Yeah. But it's fun, honestly. And I think there's a lot of support here in the community. And hopefully we're reaching out to new people too who don't ever go see shows. Because some people say, I don't care about musicals, Phantom of the Opera, Oklahoma, whatever. Those are great shows, but they're very mainstream. These are off the beaten path.
Right.
That's what we're going for.
Okay. And this question is for both of you. Is there a wish list show that you want to do here in the hopefully near future?
My goodness.
I bet you probably like
well,
pages and pages.
Pages and pages. But Sid, you answer first because Sidney has her hand in producing her own stuff too. So what do you like to do?
Oh boy, wish list. I mean, I have a wish list like
Yeah,
a
right,
mile long.
It's a terrible question.
If you picked one show.
Yeah.
One show to direct or to be in.
That's a great question.
How about directing?
Directing. Oh boy. Little Shop of Horrors has always been on my list. Like, I'm going to do that one day.
There you go.
I got to figure it out, but it's on the list.
That's
Okay.
a pretty special one,
That's a
right?
good one.
Yes, I would love to do Little Shop of Horrors.
Well, you I think mentioned it last time, but Heathers is on our short list
I
right
didn't
now.
want to bring it up, but now that you brought it
Well, do you want to be one of the Heathers?
up. No.
Are you sure? I feel like that was a giggle that just said that you had never thought about it
No, I've
before.
never considered that.
Okay, well,
So,
maybe consider it. Who knows?
all right.
There's parts in there,
I'm
man.
going to think about it.
I hope so.
But yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Heathers would be.
It's killer,
Just
right?
amazing.
So
So-
killer. Yep.
Yeah, it seems like I see, things pop up all the time. It's like, why are they doing that as a musical? But Heathers was like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah. Have you heard it yet?
No, still,
Oh
I'm
my
I don't want to spoil things for myself.
No,
but-
that's fair. No, I mean, it's if you dug Toxie, you will dig Heathers.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I did go look at or listen to some of the actual Toxic Avenger musical on iTunes afterwards, and I was like, oh, this is good, but it's not like what I heard.
Can I tell you that is not, you're not the first person who said
Yeah.
that. And I think that's really a testament to how incredible that cast was.
Oh,
like they
so
were
good.
so vocally stacked up. Our mayor, she lives in Chicago now and does stuff out there.
Yeah,
Like a big talented
how
jerk.
dare she?
Sometimes I'm actually going to text her after this and be like, you jerk, we talked about you this morning.
Yeah, tell her.
Talented, beautiful
She even
angel.
friended me on Facebook and then moved away.
And then moved. I'm going
not
to tell
fair.
her that you feel like you've had that rug pulled out from under you.
Abandoned me.
Right? No, she did
My
that.
time of need.
Yeah, we went up
Whatever.
and saw her do a cabaret and she sounded amazing. Jerk.
Talented people in
I
their
know.
ways.
Hate them.
Jeez.
Actors.
Anyways,
All just giggling in
that
the corner.
really,
It escalated quickly.
yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
She is not going to like this episode.
I hope she does.
But yeah, well, thanks for coming over. I know, like I said, we got time constraints here, but I wanted to make sure we got this out before. So I'll put a rush order on it.
Thank you.
See what happens. But yeah, and speaking of,
Yeah.
best way to get tickets are.
It's a great question. You can think them. You can think about them and hope that works. But if that's not tangible enough, you can call me at Sydney's laughing really hard.
I was thinking maybe this is like Lost and there's some sort of magic box that
perfect,
you open
right?
up the box and
Yeah,
there's
you
the
just
tickets.
think it and it's there.
Okay.
You could call me at 812-456-8719. You can reserve your tickets that way. And what I try to do to make it cool is you can call me, tell me what night you're coming, give me your contact info. You don't have to pay me over the phone. You can come and pay me in person. And we also have a cash bar available. The show,
Sounds like it might need the cash bar for this.
I was actually going to tell you, there's no intermission. So what I highly recommend, if you are a person who can tolerate your alcohol, get yourself 2 drinks. That's what I did when I saw it. Get yourself 2 drinks. You drink one while you're waiting for the show to start, and then you've got the other one to get you through the show. It's a funny show. It's much funnier when you're tipsy. I mean, would you agree with that?
I think about any show like that's funnier.
Absolutely.
You're tipsy. That's why we did Rocky Horror in a bar.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You
makes sense.
got to laugh it
A lot of
off, man.
sense there.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, and then follow you on Facebook is the best way to keep track of what's going on in the near future.
Think
Okay.
Pink Productions Facebook page. Come check us out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks guys for coming over.
Thanks for having
Appreciate
us.
it.
Keep it real.
Thanks again to Kensington and Sidney for coming on and talking to us about the musical coming up. Check it out if you are brave enough. This one it's going to be something to talk about, if nothing else. So let me know what you think, and please check out some more episodes coming this week. Got a kind of a jam-packed week, so be on the lookout for a couple more episodes this week. Thanks, and check out evansvillepodcast.com for all the news and notes about what we talk about on these episodes. Good job, everybody.